1, 0, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And
last weather segment. This is inevitably military or something going on. The government, the Air Force, they send out what's known as CHEM, and it's a way to experiment with the radar system. And when you see this kind of a pattern like this, you can rest assured there's something going on. They're actually little bitty magnetic, little bitty strips of, whether it's aluminum, they change it, but what happens is the radar deflects off of all these little pieces, and they use it actually as a jamming mechanism for radar in warfare, but it can also jam on radar.
This first portion of the radar cycle fairly bland and typical, but then you see these bands of very distinct cloud cover moving into the region. That is not rain, that is not snow. Believe it or not, military aircraft flying through the region dropping chaff. Small bits of aluminum, sometimes it's made of plastic or even metallicized paper products, but it's used as an anti-radar issue, and obviously they're up there practicing. Now, they won't confirm that, but I was in the Marine Corps for many years, and I'll tell you right now, that's what it is.
He said something that really hit home about this phenomena of chemtrails. When I was a kid, I used to see these trails in the sky all the time. And that's cool. The jet just moved. And you're starting to see a whole bunch of them. And next thing you know, everybody in the neighborhood was fighting and arguing, and you didn't know why. Okay, and you really didn't know why. I mean, everybody was fighting. So he started riffing about the chemtrails.
Dispersed, and I'll be happy to talk to you about it. I think you might be under some misconceptions about what we're doing, but I'm happy to tell you any details that you need.
Well, I know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day. The wind blows them around. They glow either on their own or from scattered sunlight. We take pictures and we can see how the wind trail moves around and use that to infer what the wind is. Just like if you were taking a picture of an airplane contrail, you can use that to see how the wind was blowing up at those altitudes. This is much higher altitude, so we use these chemical trails.
And what is the purpose of knowing what the wind's going to do in the ionosphere?
The purpose is the ionosphere is really to understand our planet. It's very fundamental science. We're trying to understand every day. We know there's electric currents that flow over the head. They're just naturally there. They've been there for ever since the Earth had an atmosphere and a magnetic field. And the wind is driven by the sun. The sun heats the atmosphere. The wind blows, and every day that wind drives an electric current. And we're trying to understand what causes that. Essentially, how does it work in detail? And also importantly, when the sun becomes active with lots of sunspots and lots of magnetic activity, that changes the wind pattern and changes the electric current. So we want to understand both what it is on a regular day when there's no solar activity, and then what it is when there's a lot of solar activity.
is there some other kind of a way that you can use it without dispersing the lithium?
We're researching other ways. The lithium is actually harmless to the environment, and we could show you more about that. But it is tricky to use because it's very faint. You can't see it with your naked eye. You have to, have special cameras to see it and so on. So we don't like to use it for that reason. It's hard. In other words, it's hard measurement to make. We're researching other ways to put sensors directly on the rocket to measure the wind, and those are ongoing. We're trying to develop those now. In fact, one of the purposes of this mission was to do that.
Okay. Well, you've explained it to me then. I don't agree with it, but I appreciate you explaining it to me.
Email too if you have detailed questions, anything you want.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna research it a little more, and I will email you. And I appreciate you taking the time out to speak to me today, sir.
At your call. It's not often we get to hear from members of the public and people who are really interested and concerned with what we're doing. And I really appreciate your time.
I wish more people would call. I really do. I've called my senators. I've called my governor. You can't get through to anyone,
7,
sir.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And Jerry approved the nominal motor pressure on 21. Plus 20. Fast booms deployed. Booms on the Black Bear pipehead, the plume is deployed. Booms on the Black Bear pipehead, the plume is deployed. Fast booms deployed. Booms on the Black Bear pipehead, the plume is deployed. Fast booms deployed. that they do see the lithium trails. These lithium trails allow them to look at the winds and of the ionosphere, and these winds are believed to be superior dynamic.
Well, make sure everyone knows that we see the lithium from the airplane.
Roger that.
We've got good sine waves on the electric field. Yeah, I copy.
Re-entry.
21 voltage and current nominal.
Bring back registered all 3 triggers.
GPS is nominal.
The ocean.
TM21 MM.
Go ahead, MM.
Hey, did you get an apogee?
I'm seeing about 135.
Copy. We have LOS DM1.
We have lost the signal of the Black Bear 5 payload, which means it has impacted into the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, that's Tim, looks like we lost modulation on TM1. Computer PM1. Go. Raj, when you get a chance, if you could please give us the apogees of both vehicles and impact locations. Copy. 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 Copy.
Copy.